So factoring, taking square roots, completing the square, quadratic formula. We mentioned this from the beginning, but it's very good to emphasize again.
Sorry.
No, not at all. It's a very good, very good. There are so many details. If you don't ask, it's difficult to catch up and understand things. Good. Factoring, easy, but only if possible, if applicable. So in other words, if it takes more than 30 seconds, stop and apply quadratic formula.
Every question takes us, we are not as fast as you.
Okay, if it takes more than 30 seconds to factor, use the quadratic formula. Taking square roots, it's limited. Has a limited applicability, only if I have this situation. Otherwise, I'm never going to use it. Because in this situation, it's done. I take the square root and I'm done. This never. Never, ever, ever, ever. Because it doesn't solve the problem. I have to use another method, right? I completed the square. Look at how many things I have to come up with. And then it doesn't work. Unless I go back to another method, which is taking square roots. So I complete the square, and it's not doing the job. I have to take the square root now. So unless you force me, I will never use this. Why? Why is this important? Why do we teach this? It's for something else in the next level. Okay? But I will never use this. I just illustrated the method because it's an important method for something else. And I wanted to show you that we get to the same answer. But I will never use this. It's too long, it's a waste of time, and it doesn't do the trick. After all the effort to complete a square, I have to go back to another method. This, easy and straightforward. It takes a blink. Easy. I just have to remember the pattern, plug and chuck.
I appreciate that.
However, I did not fully answer your question. Your question was, why do I need all these 4 methods? I don't. Can I always apply quadratic formula? Yes, of course. But then you will, if it takes few seconds, I mean, this is faster than this. If you don't know this method, then it will take you a long time to square, to move the term, and then use the quadratic formula. So this is an easy shortcut. Completing the square, no, no, no. But because this is for something else. So if you say, forget it, I'm only going to use the quadratic formula, that's fine. It's not a mistake. But this is very easy when it's applicable. This never. And this is easy when it doesn't take more than 30 seconds. If it takes 5 minutes to factor, forget it. Use this, because this one takes a minute. So why we have so many? It's because of the situations we face. The quadratic formula always works, but if I can factor like that simple example, x plus 9, x squared plus 9x equals 0, will I complete the square and take the square root? Will I use the quadratic formula? No, because this is done. It took 5 seconds, not even 30. So when the free term is missing, never use the quadratic formula, because this is a blink. By the time you plug it in the quadratic formula and you calculate the discriminant, you are sweating and somebody else finished. Good, very good questions. Very good. Anything else, other topics that you would like to go back to? If not, I would like to go back and review test 2. So we can review test 4 and test 1 on Thursday. Thursday is our last class. I am obligated to remind you to complete the survey for 5% on the extra credit on your final exam, in addition to the extra credit that is there already. Okay, so other questions, or can we go and review test 2? I'd like to review test 2 today, or as much as we can, and then test 1 and test 4 on Thursday in preparation for the final exam next Tuesday. Actually, your final is on Wednesday. Now, if you need to take it on Tuesday, I can, but you're probably already registered. If you're not registered for the final, that could be a problem by now. Okay, what would you like me to do? Can we go back to test 2? I don't want you to think that I'm confusing you or something. I don't know. What is your opinion, please?
Anybody else need help on graphing or anything? Okay.
So what is our decision as a group? What do we want to do then? Because
you are driving this car. Do whatever you think is best, I guess.
Well, yes, but I'm not driving a sack of potatoes. I have friends when they drive, and I say to them, if my head does not stand in the same place, let me drive. Because I have a friend who's, it's unbelievable. You either hit the windshield, or you hit the side doors, and it's unbelievable. I cannot drive with this person. So I'm not driving a sack of potatoes. I tell him, are you driving a sack of potatoes? So I'm driving human beings. So let's make a decision as a group. What would you like to do? Please. So my thinking is, we reviewed test 3. Test 3 was completed in class. I would like on Thursday to review test 4 and review test 1. So I would like right now to go over test 2. Because I don't think we can do all 3. We can try, but I don't think we can.
Do you remember the date that you posted the video for test 3, or is it just labeled test 3 review?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so let's take a look.
I do have a question about the test 3 retake. You said it expires this Thursday?
Yes, so you can take it today, tomorrow, or Thursday.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yes. Thursday is our last day of classes. So in the videos, all the reviews are listed. So see here, test 2 review.
Okay, thank you. And that'd be a test 3. Okay.
Yes, but where did I write test 1 review?
Guess we all aced that one.
You did. Actually,
okay.
actually you did. I don't get it because I always post everything right after class, and we always had a review. Oh, this is not your class actually.
I see it online.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. Test 1 review.
Okay, perfect.
It's after 2.5 and -2.9.
Yes, everything is labeled. Test 1 review, the videos and the lecture notes, test 2 review, test 3 review, and test 4.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Cause I would like to watch that video again before I go to take that.
Please, I am begging you. Also, before you move on to the next class, I highly recommend download all those video links, because you may need to go back to them to review certain things. And definitely, if you don't want to just copy the links, if you don't want to copy these links in a folder or in a file, definitely download all the PDF files. I would create a PDF, a folder with all this, with all the PDF files. It's a lot of information, as Rachel said, a lot that you have to go through. So you have to do this as soon as possible this weekend, because later on you may not have access to it. Will you email me and say, send me the links? Of course I will. But sending you the PDF files will be a humongous task. I do have a file with all the links that I do have, but I won't be able to compress a file and a folder and send you all those PDF files. So download them, create a PDF, create a module or a folder somewhere on your hard drive or flash drive, whatever you want, and keep those. You may need to go back to them. Now, if you have your notes, like many, like Rachel, for example, Adriana, they uploaded all their notes, that's fine. Though your notes may be good enough, but if you don't, I highly recommend this. Okay, so we're coming back to the same question again. We have 50 minutes left. What would you like to do? Please.
We work like more on like graphs,
On what?
like graphs, pinpoint graphs.
Okay, let's take a look at graphs. When you say graphs, you mean reading from a graph, or?
Yes.
Good. Evaluating is an issue, or is it clear? Okay. Okay. Is this something we want to look at?
Yeah.
Okay. So for what value of x is f of x equals -5? What do we need to do? What is given here? Is it x or is it y given to us?
Y.
Yes. Y. When y is given, it's basically a horizontal line. Y equals -5. So y equals -5, we imagine we draw a horizontal line. It hits the graph at this point, and we have to read the x value.
So it's 1.
1. Good. Then the next question, For value of x is f of x equals -3. The same thing. We imagine we draw a horizontal line. It hits the graph in this point, and we have to read the x value.
So that's 0.
0. For a value of x is f of x equals 3. So when x equals 3, we imagine we draw a horizontal line and we read the x value.
-1.
-3. Good. Here we're asked to find the domain. Because the points are not connected, we cannot present an interval notation. So when we get to the domain, so f of -5. So at -5, I imagine I draw a vertical line because x is given now. It hits the graph in this point, and I will be reading the y value. So that is 5. The domain is, as you notice, they already put the braces for us. So we have to list all possible x values, but with a comma. So I have the -5 with a comma, and then -4 with a comma, and then -3 with a comma, and then -2 with a comma, and then -1 with a comma, and then 0, and then 1. I cannot include or put brackets -5 to +1 because the function is not defined at 1.5 at 0.5. As you see here, at 0.5, even if I draw a vertical line, it doesn't hit the graph. So I cannot put brackets or parentheses. So then they're asking us to find the x values for which f of x is 3. So I imagine I draw a horizontal line. F of x is 3 means y equals 3. And I read two x values. I read -3 and I read -1. So -3, comma, -1. And then it's going to ask me for the range. Again, I cannot include points in between the given points. The lowest y value is 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. And they already prepared the answer for us. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's it. I cannot put in anything else. Now here the graph is continuous. So the points exist, one next to the other, one next to the other, one next to the other. So that's why I will use a bracket or brackets here. I will put brackets. And I see between -3 and +6, the leftmost point till the rightmost point for the x values on the x-axis. So -5, I'm sorry, -3, comma, 6. And now the range from the lowest y value, which is 0, to 6. But again with brackets because the point exists. All the point exist. So 0, comma, 6. Now f of -3, x is given. So I imagine I draw a vertical line because x equals -3 is a vertical line, and it hits the graph at this point, so the answer is 0 because that's the y value over there. Now f of 0 is up here at 6 because I draw or imagine I draw x equals 0, but x equals 0 is the y-axis. So that's 6. And f of 1, I imagine I draw x equals 1, so I read 4. What are the values of x for which f of x is 2? It's a different question. Now y is given. So I draw or imagine I draw y equals 2. And I read 3 different points. I read -2, I read 2 and I read 4. So -2, 2, and 4. Again, -2 is here, 2 is here, and 4 is here.